Hey guys, hello. I don't know if anyone's watching, but giving this game another chance. I beat the first boss earlier. I just didn't stream it because I was busy. Yeah. How you guys doing tonight? Sometimes I kind of just want to not have the mic on and just have good vibes. Hope you guys are doing well. I'm alright. Had a busy day today helping my neighbors. So I'm just trying to chill out and make some builds in this, or rather find the fast travel points, because that's when this game gets more tolerable. When you have the fast travel points, it gets a lot more tolerable, but the first time you're on a map, it's kind of a slog. I was about to drop this game, to be honest. I was very close to flushing it, but I'm glad I stuck around. It's a good game, but it is early access, so, you know, use your judgment to decide if that's something you want to support or not. It's made by one guy. Ah, there we go. Speaking of a sky node, oh, that was working. And once you get these, this game is a lot more tolerable, but I feel like the maps are a little bit too big. And it kind of just turns into a walking sim after you unlock, you kill everything, but they do respawn if you come back. Yeah, I would like this more if it was just, you know, arcade style. Run around and kill shit. It's more my jam, but it's really not much different than anything else. Kind of just, the first time it's going to be a slog, but then after you get the fast travel points, it really is just kind of going around and killing stuff. But it's not for everybody, for sure. I mean, this game is advertised as a roguelike, and it kind of isn't. I mean, you keep, like, basically everything. Although, supposedly, it was a lot different before. I didn't really play this before the last update, so I don't really have an educated opinion on it, but it doesn't necessarily need to be a roguelike. It kind of stands out that it's got, like, builds and stuff, but it's not, you know, just arcade-style stuff. Some people like this kind of, they like this kind of game. I definitely am not a big fan, but it does make the game stand out, and it's very impressive that this is such a big world, and it has, like, a lot of stuff in it. It's pretty densely packed compared to, you look at my Discord, the Metroid Prime 4 Barren Desert. That game is made by, like, probably, like, at least 100 people. And this open world is better? It's just kind of embarrassing, if you ask me. How does this have a better, more involved open world than Metroid Prime 4? A franchise that's been around for, like, 20 years. I'd like to do MCI sometime. Yeah, I don't hate that game. It just doesn't really... It's mostly just the boss fights. Boss fights in that game are trash. Really should have let you stagger them at least a little bit. That game feels a lot better with double health, actually. Double enemy health. I think the game feels a lot better. The problem is it gives the bosses more health, and they're the worst part of the game. I don't know, man. I saw people wandering around in that desert on that bike, and I'm like, what is the purpose of this? I already don't like the Prime games as much as, I already don't like the Prime games as much as 2D Metroid. I've always been more of a 2D 2D Metroid fan, but I don't know. Seeing that desert is a major buzzkill. That desert just looks devoid of anything. Feels like that game is suffering from almost 20 years between installments, and how much expectations and stuff have changed since then. Everybody's worried about how long a game is instead of whether it's actually any fun to play. And that game definitely seems to suffer from it. I had some passing interest in it, but I've watched a bit of gameplay, and yeah, I'm not going to be playing that game. It's a first-party Nintendo game, so it will never go on sale either. It's basically perpetually $70. I don't think I would get $70 of enjoyment out of that game. I'd just be very frustrated and molding. Nobody wants to watch that. Looks like it has some brief instances of fun, but just a ton of padding. They're never going to make a Prime game as good as the first one. They seem to have just given up. Prime 1 was an incredible game, and they've just been getting worse since then. I mean, 2 is still good, but 2 I definitely feel is worse than 1. And 3 was the beginning of narrative getting in the way of gameplay. Continue that with Other M, which was a complete disaster of character assassination and unfun stuff. Not surprising that Prime 4 goes down that path, but it's still disappointing nonetheless. 2D Metroid's where it's at anyway. Movement is much more interesting in the 2D games. Dread had some sick movement. I didn't think Dread was as good as Zero Mission, but it was still a good game in its own right. Being first person really limits the kind of movement that you can do. Especially when it's like forced controller. Well, no, it does have mouse support, but only for Switch 2, so like that's something that they just tacked on because the game took so long to come out. It wasn't designed with that, but you know, something like Doom Eternal they design around like keyboard first. I just don't find the moment-to-moment gameplay is interesting in any of the Prime games. First one comes close, but most of it's kind of unintended, to be fair. There's so many ways to break that game, and that's what's really fun about it, but that stuff kind of went away as the series went on. Maybe somebody will find some glitch to skip a lot of the padding. The game's probably pretty locked down, though. Prime 3 was pretty locked down. I don't think there's really any major sequence breaks for that game. I wonder what they were expecting that game to sell if they were working on it for like 10 years and restarted development like twice. What is the sales target for something like that? That is totally a reason why it's got so much more yapping and all the stuff that people that play Metroid don't like. Bunch of bumbling NPCs talking constantly and padding. They totally put that in there because they need to. They need that game to appeal to everybody, but that's not what Metroid fans want. Seems like one of those things. Like if you're a new fan, you probably like really like it, but if you grew up with like, you know, Nestroid or Super or the GBA games, like you probably won't like it. And that's a shame, but it also makes sense. Those games came out like decades ago now. So it doesn't seem like they're even caring about their original consumers anymore, the way that that game is designed. Apparently you can't even like use your upgrades right away. You have to go talk to an NPC. There's like no point for that other than just to pad out the game. Satisfaction is, you know, you do the platforming or you beat the boss, and then you get the upgrade right away instead of having to go have some random NPC that will never appear again install it for you. That's really dumb. Guess more of that is just going to happen. Legacy franchises and stuff. Just you know, screw the people that got you that far in the first place. You know, you want this to appeal to everybody. Like that wasn't the original intent of the older games. It was pretty much, you know, we're appealing to a specific audience. And if we grow it past that, that's great. But you know, we're not trying to appeal to everybody. But, you know, Tales of Arise was the same way. I'd say Arise was less of a departure than Prime 4, actually. Departure in Arise was really just the gameplay. So if you like the gameplay, the game's not too different. Prime 4 definitely is way different, though. There's basically no isolation. Just an open world that's just there to make the game longer. And trying to make you care about NPCs that, you know, a lot of Metroid fans don't like. It's very hard to find a game that actually has isolation. I mean, like this game. The isolation in this game is really cool. There aren't people talking at you constantly. And some people really do like that. But I guess that's not what Metroid is for anymore. You gotta go find indie stuff like this to get that experience. But I guess longer franchises go on, the more they try to appeal to other people. That can backfire. Seems like a lot of people are really turning their back on that game. I'm like, it already didn't really look interesting to me. I was kind of already tapped out after 3, to be honest. I thought 3 was a big decline, and also started the whole NPCs yapping and the death of isolation. All that was kind of already going away by 3, which was like 18 years ago, so it's not too surprising, but I don't know. It must be hard to make sequels to Metroid games. It's got to be legit difficult. It takes so long to come out. They're definitely not like Call of Duty or NBA games or something. You know, it's just like they have like story beats and stuff, and then there's like not another one for like 20 years. So that's got to be hell for the writers. How much can you really refer to things like that when it's not a movie that you can go watch on Netflix or Disney Plus? It's this game that has not been legally available for like 15 years. I felt like Metroid Dread really suffered from that too. Metroid Dread was totally like that. All the interesting plot elements from Fusion were completely ignored, because I guess they came to some realization that, like, well, people can't legally play this. How much can we reference it? Can't really write something around a game that, you know, you can only go download a ROM for. It's completely different from something like Star Wars, where the old ones are readily available.
The threads of fate
don't want me to go
do
that
not
way, huh?
weave that way. Turn around.
I liked Prime 3 the least. Prime 3 I only played through once. And I really didn't like that game, because it was doing the same thing that Prime was doing, trying to appeal to a new audience in the wrong way. And I was already kind of like, I don't really like the Prime games anywhere near as much as any of the 2D ones. I think Zero Mission is the best game in the series, gameplay-wise. So... No, that's pretty much not really an unpopular opinion, though. 2D Metroid games are just better overall, except for the first Prime. First Prime is just really busted, though, so that helps. Even playing it as intended with no sequence breaks, it's got a lot more meat to it than the other ones. I'd be shocked if anybody finds a single sequence break in Prime 4. And if they do, the barren open world is gonna probably make it not mean much. I don't think that's gonna become a broken game like every other Metroid has. It's gonna suck for the longevity of it. I don't really think that game will have anywhere near as much of a speedrun community. People have been speedrunning Super Metroid for like 30 years. So, it definitely does suck if all the modern AAA shit kind of makes that fizzle out really quick, because, you know, people still play Super Metroid, like, competitively.
Return.
So many ROM hacks and stuff.
Your
and
strength is needed where it
Prime 4
matters.
is going to make all that basically not happen. It's a bummer. I don't know what possessed them to make a open world bike section that has nothing in it, and then you have to pay $30 for an amiibo to have music during it, which is worse than gacha monetization. How the hell do you do that, man? You have a vast expanse of nothing and like barely anything to interact with, and then to even have the basic necessity of music, you have to pay extra. That's just crazy. It really does look like a budget PS2 game in that desert. Looks really low budget. Should not do an open world unless you can actually fill it with stuff to do. This game is made by one guy, and like, I definitely wish this was not open world, but I think it'd be safe to say this is more engaging than Prime 4 Desert. Movement's pretty solid, lots of hidden nooks and crannies and stuff. And the loot grind helps keep it fresh. Even if you go through it once, you gotta go through it again eventually. I'm not quite sure where to go. I think I'm gonna go back to town. Upgrade a bit, maybe play something else. pretty fat upgrade. Guess I should make like a second build at this point for the other weapon. Like buff this one up, because this one is pretty good. Considering I'm not like following a guide or anything, this is, well, mostly blind. I looked at some of the builds that you can do before I bought the game, but since I didn't play the game or the demo or anything, kind of really didn't mean much. But yeah, I'm having fun with this. I do wish it was an open world, but it's pretty engaging for what it is. there are worse open worlds than this, made by much larger teams. So, pretty impressive. What's up, Alvy? Yeah, I was talking about how not many people seem to like Prime 4. Definitely sucks for somebody who grew up with those games, but it's whatever. I was already tapped out by the last one anyway. I don't know, my opinion with Metroid has always been half contrarian, half mainstream, and that I think that Zero Mission is the best Metroid game, not Super Metroid. Super Metroid is great, but I feel the controls are very outdated. What is that mod, that ROM hack, Super Zero Mission? The one that makes it so it fixes the controls like Fusion and ZM? That's how I would prefer to play that game if I played it again. Having to hold the button down to run and then like having two aim buttons just felt like they needed a reason to use all buttons on the controller. Never once felt like it needed it. The Fusion Zero Mission control scheme is so much better. It really felt like it wasn't dumbing it down like so many other games, you know, when they try to appeal to a new audience. I think the control scheme in Fusion and ZM is so much better than Super. Super's still an amazing game, but I think the controls really hold it back. Controls are very awkward. I thought that they were awkward back in '94. Certainly hasn't improved since. Everybody always says, you know, you dumb down controls, it makes the game worse. I'm like, well, to be fair, they did that because, you know, they had 2 less buttons on the GBA, but it worked. If you see Zero Mission movement and speedruns, like, movement is still good. The thing about Zero Mission as well is that, like, the sequence breaks are intended, so, you know, maybe it doesn't have as much tech, but the fact that they, like, actually designed the game around it is pretty cool, if you ask me. Every sequence break in Zero Mission is intended. They got a lot of criticism from people like myself that Fusion was too linear and narrative-focused, and it really hurt the replay value, which seems to be what's happening with Prime 4. It'd be the exact same problem. It's like they haven't learned from Fusion. Like, you know, Fusion has a great story. It's a legit good story, but playing the game more than once is such a slog because you have to mash through, like, entire essays worth of text. It really brings down the replay value a ton. But other than that, Fusion was a great game. It's definitely not something you want to boot up, though, if you're just looking to, you know, play and you've already seen the story 16 times. Zero Mission is better for that purpose. Which is why, after Zero Mission came out, I, like, never played Fusion again. I was pretty good at Fusion. I used to do, like, casual speedruns of it. Seems like all the big Metroid streamers hate it. That's about what I expected. It's the Tales of Arise of Metroid games, I guess. Probably people that have never played one before, or the first game was Dread, like, really like it, but people that, you know, started with, like, at least the GBA games probably don't like it. Which is inherently a bad thing, but I definitely think there's better ways to try to appeal to the old fans and bring in new people, which is pretty much what the GBA games did. I just think Super Metroid controls age like milk. Not the movement. Not the movement. The control scheme. Age like milk. Because as soon as Fusion came out, people were like, wait, this doesn't actually feel dumbed down. It's just straight up better. Problem is Fusion is very linear and it has like... The only sequence break is the memory corruption, so... Memory corruption is just pretty cool because that game was unbreakable for the longest time. Like, they could not break that game no matter how hard they tried. It's like Order of Ecclesia. They found that memory corruption and broke it after like 15 years of being unbreakable. The speed run was just playing it fast. Fusion memory corruption is pretty cool, actually. What are your thoughts on Prime 4, Alvi? Are you interested? I stopped caring about it a long time ago. The game was vaporware for so long. I don't know, after Prime 3, it's just like, when they announced it, I just like don't really want more of that, but... I don't like being right about these things, though. I wanted it to be a good game. It'll probably just mean that there will be more 2D Metroid, which is not a bad thing. Dread was pretty good. I don't think it was as good as Zero Mission, but still a solid game. doing some grinding here on this build. Might hop on Zelia after. Check out the new patch. New patch dropped yesterday. But I've been pretty hooked on this. This game is legit. First-person games. Just needed to find the right ones. Meaning the ones where you don't shoot. Got Gunfire Reborn, Mortal Sin, and this. Maybe I'll do like a event, like show off those games when I have a day where I am not helping my neighbors. Maybe tomorrow, actually. Today. Later today, I'll do that. I think I fully exterminated this place. Extermination is complete. That was pretty exhilarating. It does suck that this is open world. Wish it was more just like linear levels, but I mean, for an open world made by one guy, it's pretty good. Definitely having more fun with this than I thought. I kind of was about to flush it last night, but I'm glad I stuck with it. Get up there, please. That's a pretty significant upgrade. 20k E-core. challenge down there. I don't think I'm ready for it yet. It kept like going. I got like 6 waves into it, but they just kept coming. I couldn't clear it. There's no like wave indicator or anything, but yeah, if you get that scythe there, apparently it's just like GG, you clear everything, but I'm not gonna bother right now. I'm gonna go back to town with this, because this should be a pretty significant upgrade. Pretty much everything leveled up a bit, so I can work on the build. The build's working pretty good for being a blind build with no guidance. It's working pretty good. I could definitely get better. Yeah, let's go back to town right here. That was a good harvest. All right. See if anything's ready to go. I think that's good for tonight. That's enough for tonight. That was pretty good build progression. I mean, they're dying pretty quick, but I don't have them on like increased health right now, so I'm sure the build will start to fall off fast. I'll put it on max amount of enemies. I like the difficulty system. Like they have base health, but there's a higher elite chance and there's more enemies. So all that helps quite a bit. So that's like double. If you give them more health, you get way more. Hey, let's try one more. Let's try one more. I wonder how much of an increase this is, though. If it gives them like 10 times more health, my build's gonna fall off quick. Let's give it a try. Let's do one more harvest. The big, like, circular area, if you clear that out, that gives you a lot of guys. They're still going down pretty quick. As long as it doesn't slow down too much. Yeah, they're definitely more tanky. Alright, that's enough for this for tonight. Definitely the TTK went down, like, significantly. It definitely did go down. Probably need to run it a little bit more. That's how those things always work. Doesn't really matter if you're getting triple experience if your time to kill went down that much. That's kind of what I figured would happen. It feels a lot better. The stick sensitivity isn't so bad that, like, every time you would try to back step or front step or back step, like, you would get a jump instead. Actually feels a lot better now. Kenshoku. 遅い。一緒だい。 Should I?
おすそ分けですパワーキンだ一気に押し切れスタートのこれがマクスウェルの力だ
Nice job. Shoku.
私に続け僕だってこれくらいは
Still didn't fix this input lag on the menus. Was really hoping that they would fix that, but they didn't. It feels so much worse than PS3. Did they not notice? It's pretty apparent. Gotta wait another 2 months for them to fix that.
お休みになられない。
This is where you fight Ivar, isn't it? Might be good to show the mod. Oh, the Ivar fight is coming up soon. I don't remember if it's right here. Been a while. Oh my goodness, this menu is still so laggy. They play their own game. Why is it so laggy? Took them 2 months to do this patch that... I mean, it fixed the gameplay. The stick sensitivity is much better, but using the menus is still agonizing. It's pretty much any game where you're in menus a lot, you want them to be responsive, and they've completely failed in that regard. The menus are horrible in this game. It's weird because it's like it's not lag. It's not like the game is lagging. It's just input lag in general. You think that if they got the green light from Bamco to patch this game, that they would fix that, but I guess not. It's probably not going to get another patch. But clearly, trying to do the Call of Duty method to spam games is not working very well, if this is the height of their quality. It's like, it's just got a couple of minor things wrong with it, but I don't know. They don't seem to be too in a hurry to fix it. Should not take 2 months to fix the stick sensitivity. Ankusen. Ishodai. Ankusen.
戦いは好きじゃないけど。
She lingers on.
大丈夫、僕も一緒だよ。
いいコンビだよな、俺たち。
いけません。アルビンさん。
Oh, this is the part of every Tales game where they take away the healer. And like you can be fine, but the party members will shit the bed. Business as usual. Just haven't bothered putting anything on Alvin because he leaves the party every 5 seconds. Nice to have that clairvoyance. This first playthrough in this game is pretty rough. If you think he's gonna stay, he keeps leaving. So he's a shit person. The other party members in this game are dumb, and they don't know what doing irredeemable things is. They keep inviting him back. He's like the influencers that keep getting banned, but they bring them back because they make the platform money. That's exactly what Alvin is. He's a toxic influencer. He gets away with like heinous stuff, and they just bring him back, slap on the wrists. Like, you know, a small streamer does those things that those guys do. You know, they get, like, completely deleted, Thanos snapped, but if a big streamer does it, it's like, oh, 3 days off. Go take a vacation. That's pretty much what Alvin is in a nutshell. He's a shit person that keeps getting invited back with open arms because they don't know how to, you know, not forgive people that treat you like dirt. That's basically what it is. He's kind of a dumb character. I upgrade them a little bit. Yeah, heal Bangle's pretty good. Grab all these too. A shop in this game is busted. You get so much good stuff. I'm kind of showing some restraint though, because I haven't played this through in a long time. This is a must right here. Let's grab all these. Let's buy everything. Alright, I think I'm gonna go ahead and crash. I don't feel like doing another dungeon. Yeah, patch is, it's a mixed bag. I mean, I haven't really gotten any accidental jumps, so maybe playing on manual is more viable now. Doing high-level stuff, too, was kind of a mess because of the stick sensitivity being messed up. The menus still feel pretty bad. Skipping cutscenes and using the menu still feels awful. I don't know how the hell they can't fix that. It seems like something that should be a priority if you're going to make a JRPG, which regardless of whether it's, you know, action or... whether it's action or turn-based, you need good menus, and they have completely failed in that regard, but the mods feel pretty good, so... I'll probably be back later. Hopefully in the morning if I get up in time. We'll do some more Voin grinding. And then switch over to Zelia. I'll see you guys in the morning most likely. If I go to bed now, I could probably get back on in the morning. Yeah, I'm kind of focused on Voin and Zelia right now. Because Zelia I kind of held back because of the menus. They barely fixed the menus, but at least the battle system doesn't feel messed up. It doesn't feel worse than PS3. Menus I can kind of look past. Yeah, I do want to put up some videos of the mods, so that's going to be probably the goal for now. Solo leveling has not gotten any kind of patch in like a week now, and they don't seem to care that people are starting to really hate the game because of how poorly it is designed, how poorly it's designed in the end game. In the event that does get a patch, I'll go back to it, but I'm going to consider that a loss. I paid for it with my own money, but it was just not fun to play, so I'm kind of trying to just play stuff I enjoy. People want to watch it, that's cool. If not, that's cool too. Got some pretty interesting stuff going on. I mean, Game Awards is in a couple days, so they'll probably have some cool stuff there. I'm sure the shadow drops will mostly be Scrimblow Bimblow games. So I'll see you guys in the morning. Catch you later.